Hey everybody, wanted to bring you another update today. We are 2 weeks into January 2024. There's been some patch changes that have happened over the past 2 weeks. I went ahead and made some little improvements to our examination panel window. You'll see now that many of the values that were once esoteric numbers are now more human readable. So for example, you can see AI movement type here. You can see weenie type is real NPC. You can see target type is interactable. So a lot of that stuff has happened. We continue to add more objects to the world. So I actually asked one of the other people on the team who helps sort of update the database with objects around the world like portals and things if he could add some vendors so that I could see about getting those working. And so in about maybe 4 or 5 hours, I put together the vendor system right now. So it only works for the shop vendors here, but there are other vendors like the auction house vendors that you can sell things to who we haven't yet programmed because, well, I just started this. So I wanted to show you guys that. There were also some other changes besides these things. I made improvements to the spawn command, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But basically now if you use the .spawn command, it will work and it won't matter what the object is, whether it's a monster or a potion or a weapon or just some weird thing like a NPC or a portal. The command itself will parse the object and determine whether that object should be placed into the world, whether it should be placed in your inventory. If it goes into the world, does that object need to be a monster? And so do you need to activate its AI logic? So that was kind of a big improvement. Now, let me show you the vendor system here. So I spawned 3 different vendors. The one that I was testing with was the Tomb Rock vendor. To test this, I made a little change to the character. You start with 50 gold now instead of 1235, 1,200. Now the 1,235 gold wasn't actually working, so it doesn't really matter that I changed it to 50, but now you have 50 gold and that's it. So if I click on the vendor here, you can see it opens up the UI, and I don't know if I mentioned, but you'll notice that the NPCs now rotate towards you. So that's another little feature there, a little polish. So I can examine these. They're all here. And again, here's more of that information. You can see sort of these values now actually have things that are understandable. I don't think I changed the sex type, so that might still come up as like 1,300. So if that's your thing, then those are still in game. You'll still see weird sex values. Okay, anyways, so I can't buy any of those, but I can buy like the trainee drum. So if I purchase it, and there you go, you see I have it in my inventory now. And of course, if I was a Tomb Rock, I could equip that, but let me drop that on the floor, and you'll see that my gold actually changed. So if I try and buy the rookie drum now, I get the can't afford this item error. So I can buy another one of these, voila, and I can scroll through all of these and look at the different items available for purchase. And then we have the human vendor here. So again, you can see all these hanging out in here. These are pretty cool. Staff. We've got some vials in there. And then we've got our Lugian, so let's get him to rotate us. There we go. And here we go. All the Lugian things. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I got sidetracked. I did a lot of other stuff under the hood that you guys won't be able to appreciate, but trying to make things easier for us to design a loot system. That was sort of my intention initially, and then I sort of just fell into the shop system here. So yeah, hope you guys really find that exciting. It's just another feature, another part of the game that we're bringing back into the world. So we have a lot of different systems in place. There are a lot of bugs, obviously, and these are just gonna have to be fixed with time, iteration, polish, you know. And there are many effects that we still don't account for. One of the things that I hope we can get fixed in the near future is obviously the networking connection issue for people, for everyone, and I know that it is absolutely in the works. And then the other thing would be that being able to delete your characters and all that would be great, so that you can not worry about crashing the server when you delete your character. Really want to get that functional. And then in sort of that similar vein, I would like to get it so that the game remembers whether this is the first time the character has logged in or not. And there is a way to do it, a turbine way to do it, and then there's probably a hacky way to do it. I want to see if I can do it the turbine way, which, believe it or not, involves the effect system. Yeah, I know, that chaos hydra monstrous system of a thing, whatever you want to call it. That's the reason why Lord of the Rings Online lags so much, or at least that's what I've heard, is that everything goes through the effect system, even things like that. So I'll take a look at that. And I guess my areas of focus, I want to get more things into the world because we have a lot of information. We have more data for spawns for the other vaults, so I want to add those in, at least the remaining Osteth vaults. We do have those. I want to make sure the cinematics work. I want to get more spawns in the world going. Someone provided me with Burin Beach spawns that I need to add. We have a couple of pet tables for like Invoker that I need to add. And then get that done and also get the loot system in place. So those are kind of like areas that I really want to work on. Obviously, little bugs here and there we'll keep fixing, but I think that's kind of going to be the focus. I'm not happy with the way stuns work right now. They don't work properly. That really irritates me. That's another thing with the effect system that I need to fix. When it comes to mounts, for example, we don't have data on Empyrean mounts. I mean, we sort of do, but not really, because if you notice, if you mount up as an Empyrean, that your face will be all weird. So that's something else that I wanted. There's just little bugs here and there. But anyways, kind of wanted to give you guys this update. Hope it excites you. And we'll have some more stuff coming up on the public emulator, including the vendors here going for you guys. I just need to get it up into the hands of Dareth, who's helping update the server. And yeah, and hopefully we'll have more NPCs and quests and things like that coming in the near future. One other thing besides the loot that I do want to get working on is, once I do get the loot, the main reason to do the loot is so we can continue to advance the quest system design, because obviously the Arwick Mines quest requires you to be able to loot a hammer, and we can't loot the hammer right now because we don't have an organic way to generate loot. So yeah, and you can find the Arwick Vault glyph on the monsters, though I did manually add that to the loot, but it's just a very low drop rate because it competes with everything else. And again, that's because we don't have any weight system in place for determining what loot should drop, etc., etc. So all right, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.